a fresh cup of tea, and brand new baking sheets. This is cause for celebration. So I think I'll make some mint chocolate chip cookies. Just as an interesting side note, I actually picked these 2 sheets up from our local Dollarama, and they cost $4 each. The size is 17 inches by 11 inches, or 44 by 28 centimeters. Now I plan to wash these anyway. When I take off the wrapping, so to speak, I did notice under here some interesting writing. I was half hoping that maybe I might find the recipe for the chocolate chip cookies, and it does say here that you can find the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies recipe and other great recipes at the Betty Crocker website, bettycrocker.com. But it does say on here to make sure that you remove the packaging, you remove any adhesive with paper towel dipped in vegetable oil. So I thought that really interesting. If this stuff, which is really sticky, was still stuck on my tray, then a paper towel dipped in a little bit of vegetable oil would help to get the rest of adhesive off. And then it says wash and dry it thoroughly. These are good up to the temperature of, I saw it listed on here, maximum temperature of 410 degrees Fahrenheit or 210 degrees Celsius. So these will work for exactly what I need them to work for, since our recipe for our cookies is going to be at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So this recipe starts with 2 cups of just regular white flour, and to this, and here's number 3. That smells good already. To this, we're going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Get my thingy here. You can use, if you happen to have, the edge of the box to level it off. There we go. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we also need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to use my handy dandy fork to sift this all together. And again, the nice thing about having a see-through container like this is that you can see what you are doing. So I'm going to sift this all carefully through so I don't get a face full of flour. Okay, now that I have this fairly well sifted together, I'm going to clean up my workspace and we will continue with the rest of the ingredients. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take 1 cup of margarine at room temperature, and we're going to put it into our bowl here, and we're going to cream it with the spoon until it's nice and soft and creamy. To the margarine, we are going to add 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. There we are. And we're going to add 1 cup of packed brown sugar. And I'm actually going to measure this even into this container. I know all the margarine isn't out, but that doesn't matter because there's margarine in here anyway, so I'm going to do it over top of this. Then if a little bit happens to get into my bowl, it's not going to make a giant difference. And as I say, you want it packed, okay? Nice and solid, like you're making a sandcastle. Okay, 1 brown sugar castle coming up. Hang on here. Pretty close. There we go. So that worked well because I was able to scrape out the rest of the margarine. Huzzah! Now that my white sugar and my brown sugar is in here, we're going to mix and beat this all together until it's nice and fluffy. I suppose you could use beaters if you like to, but I've just always used a spoon and I've never had any difficulty with it, and it still comes out very nicely. Okay, so that's nice and creamy. And then to this, we are going to add 2 eggs, one at a time. There we go. Mix that in. It wasn't fluffy before, it's getting there now. There we go, that's the first egg. And then we'll do the second egg. Perfect. All right. With the rest of the eggs safely out of the way, I am now ready to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1 and 2. We have now reached a very important and interesting juncture. I am going to make these as mint chocolate chip cookies. However, if you don't like mint, you don't have to make them taste like mint. Here are 2 ways that it can be done. And this is juncture number 1 where you have the choice. I have some peppermint extract, and I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of my peppermint extract, okay? Now, if you did not have peppermint extract, you could have mint chocolate chips. Let's see, I just want to make 1/4. It doesn't take a lot. There we go. That's all you need. Just that little bit, 1/4 of a teaspoon, okay? If you don't have peppermint, you could have mint chocolate chips. But if you don't want mint at all in either your chips or this, you don't have to. These can just become chocolate chip cookies, which by the way are still really, really, really good. So now with my vanilla and my mint in here, which smells really good by the way, keep this in together. That smells very minty, and it was only 1/4 teaspoon. Make sure that's all stirred around, mixed in well. Now we're going to beat in our flour mixture, and I'm just going to add a bit at a time. I find it easier that way. And then if I happen to not have it fully mixed in the bottom, I can finish sifting it on through too, so that's a good thing. There we go. So that's about a third of it I've put in so far. It's just a little easier. It doesn't all go floof up in your face that way. Okay, so my dough is all ready here. Now I'm going to add in my chocolate chips, and it calls for 2 cups worth of chocolate chips. I have measured 2 cups worth. I'm going to add some, mix it around, add some, mix it around, just to make sure. Again, if you did not have mint extract and you want these to be peppermint, you could use mint chocolate chips. If you do not want mint at all, you don't have to. These are going to be good anyway. Oh, this smells so good. If you haven't had mint before, and you're open to trying it, I'm going to encourage you to try it. They're not overpowering mint. It's just a very nice, light hint of mint. It's perfect. It really is. Really, really delicious. Okay, I'm having trouble getting all my chips to, to hang out in here. So I think I'm going to stop with just 1 cup of them. If these had been smaller chips, then maybe I could get away with the 2, but these ones are fairly large size. So doesn't that look awesome? Of course, one thing you could do with all these extra chips is, you know, try them out a little bit. Now is the time to put those non-stick baking sheets that I just got to the test. Okay guys, we're getting near the end for the grand finale. So I've got myself another small spoon here. You can use a big one if you want to, but I'm going to go for a small one. And what we're going to do is get a spoonful of the batter. There we are. And put it onto, now this is an ungreased sheet, and you're going to drop them about roughly 2 inches apart so they have room to spread out. Okay, our heaping teaspoonfuls. Just make sure they're kind of roughly the same size. Beware of stray chocolate chips because you don't want them just attacking out of nowhere. Come here, you're crazy. And these are going to end up crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Now don't worry about flattening these down. Do just concern yourself a little bit with making sure that they are roughly, you know, the same size in their mounds, so that they will bake at the same temperature as you go along. So as I say, this can make up to about 4.5 dozen, depending how generous you are with your scoops. From what I'm looking at, I think I'm going to end up with maybe about 3 dozen. I've made them just a little bit bigger, but I have a feeling no one's gonna complain. All right, let's put these in the oven for somewhere between 9 and 11 minutes at 375 and see how they come out. Now we're going to take these and, oh hey, that slid right off. Awesome. Look at that. Nice. Very nice. Stick them here on the cooling rack. Whoop! If it doesn't take off on me. Oh, they look so good. They smell so good. I used to make these all the time. Everybody's gonna say to me, why don't you keep making them then? Cookie. I want cookie. Perfect timing! Ah! Just one! Thank you. You're welcome.
Monster happy.
Oh my goodness. And we'll check these out. They're crunchy on the outside with wonderful chocolate chips and so soft on the inside. How are they, Steve? A little bit crispy on the outside, very moist on the inside. Our amazing mint chocolate chip cookies. Let me know in the comments below if you try these with mint or if you try them without. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it and share it out to your friends. If you enjoy encouraging Christian music videos and good wholesome fun, and you haven't subscribed yet, then maybe you might consider subscribing to our channel. And we look forward to seeing you next time. And in the meantime, enjoy! Well, I'm very pleased with the trays, and I have a feeling that everybody here, eek, is going to be really, really pleased. with the cookies. You didn't see that. Oh, rats!